All right. What's going on, my good people? Welcome back to the channel. So today, I have a very special guest with me, my good friend Emma, Zawadi Em, which I'm waiting for her to come online right now. So if you guys can hear me okay, if you can see me okay, go ahead and let me know in the comments. I'm streaming on StreamYard, so I'm not directly on YouTube. Like the last lab I did, I was directly on YouTube. So if you guys are able to hear me, if you're able to see what I'm sharing, if you're able to see me, please let me know in the comments. For all you guys just joining, let me know in the comments if you can hear me okay. Let me know if you can see the video that I'm sharing with you while we wait on Zawadi M to jump in. I need to get the whole broadcasting set up over here, the music going, the little mixer, everything. So let me know in the comments if you guys can see me. My Liberian people, let me know. Y'all can hear me? All right. Thank you. I can hear you. Watch it from Miami, Florida. Miami? Now okay, good thing you said Miami, Florida. Because they call it Liberia, Miami now. So if you just said Miami, I would think that Liberia you in. But since you said Miami, Florida, now I understand. Because they said Liberia, when I say they said Liberia now, I'm gonna call Liberia Miami. So but you not in Miami, Liberia. You in Miami, Florida. Okay. Got Tampa, Florida in the building too. All right, Houston, Texas. Appreciate you guys. Now, can you guys see the video that I'm sharing with you? It's a drone shot. This is of the Charlesville community site that we're going to be developing. So these are the drone shots that I took when I was in Liberia in April. So I hope you guys can see these drone footage because I got a lot more to share with you guys. All right, appreciate that. All right. So I'm still waiting for Zawadi Emma to jump in. So quick story. I met Emma about Sacramento, California in the building. All right, cool. I met Emma about a little over 2 years ago. And I actually found Emma on YouTube, just how you guys are watching right now. This is how I found Emma. When I went back to Liberia, back for the first time in 2021, I came back home to Atlanta, Georgia, and I was motivated to try to find individuals that wanted to develop Liberia, that wanted to create a platform that we can encourage others, that we could document our process. So what better place to find somebody other than YouTube? So I went on YouTube doing research. I followed a lot of channels that are specific to Liberia. I'm sure a lot of you guys follow those channels also. And I came across Emma's channel. She resonated with me the most since she was already on the ground, putting in work, building, doing developments. So I got her contact info. I emailed her. We exchanged numbers and I got on the phone with her. And that's when I bought my very first piece of land in Liberia. So I would suggest that you guys go the more professional route if you guys are trying to buy land in Liberia. So this is the reason we're making this live right now. Because everybody already know, right? Oh, my mom said she get land for me for $500. My mom said the other land here like that. Oh, my brother said they land $300. You don't be listening to that one. Even if the land is there, you might not actually like what it is you're getting. So don't be so focused on price when it comes to land. But from my experience, a good price where I could see land for over there, land in a decent spot, a good area, $1,500. That's what I've seen. Now it's possible you can get some for $1,000, but keep this in mind. A lot of people don't think about this. You buying that land for $500, right? Just think of the kind of people that are also interested in that $500 land. The people you'll be sharing the community with, the people you'll be living next to, right? All $500 mentalities. So it's not just the price, right? That's like, if you want a cheap house in America, you can go buy a house in the ghetto. Those houses are a fraction of the price of other areas. Am I correct? You can go buy a house in the ghetto, but why are you not looking at that price? Right now, if you say, okay, I get 100,000, I want to go buy a house. Now in the ghetto, you about to be staying. But when you're in America, you're not interested in that $100,000 house. So why would you go back to Liberia and be interested in that $500 land? For that $500 land, if we're not talking some kind of farm land for 500, if you talk about residential land, 500, I don't want it. I stay away from it. The land might be nice, but I stay away from it because I know the mindset of those other $500 people that are going to be buying land in that area. And I'm going to have to put up with anything these people want to do because Liberia just doesn't have these restrictions. Anybody can do anything at any area. You can't stop them. If your neighbor want to build zinc, they want to have chickens, they want to grow livestock, that's their right. So that $500, you go buy 2, 3, 4 acres. Your land is only as good as your environment that you're in. So when I joined this very first community, I was the second person that bought land in this area in Brewerville. I just love the idea, the concept of people coming together, right? We're all coming together in a group. We're on the same page from the very beginning, and we're buying this land together, right? We're buying this land together. Everybody buying their individual land, but we together in a certain area. If that 15 acres, if that 20 acres, we buying our land in this area collectively. We're on the same page. We have a roadmap from the very beginning. From what I see, this is what Liberia needs because you're buying land around people who have a mixed mentality, a negative mentality. If you tell them, when they build this kind of certain house in this neighborhood, even if they agree with what you're saying, they're going to dispute it because that's the mindset of Liberians. How dare you try to tell them what they're going to build? Even if they agree, if you say that when this kind of house, we want zinc roof, we want this one, yeah, we want this one, even though they think that's a good idea, but just the fact that another person is telling them what to do, they're not having it. All right, sorry guys, Emma's not getting the link on this, so let me see if I can share with her. It looks like she's ready to come on. Actually, let me see if I can actually invite her like this. All right, y'all come in, y'all bear with me for 1 second, okay? I'm sending her these links right here so she can jump on with me so we can really have this live. But I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. I hope y'all understand what it is, the point I'm trying to convey to you guys. These cheap lands, they sound good, but I trouble. That trouble because of the people you're going to be building next to, the people you're going to be developing next to. Their mindset is not there. So I'm glad we came together, and I'm glad I was a part of this Brewerville community, and now I'm going to be a part of this Charlesville community. So our main point of this is to share what it is that we're actually doing, share the roadmap with you guys. We are going to be talking price. We're going to be talking numbers. We're going to be talking about what to expect if you do become a part of this group. And since this is Emma's third community, we learned a lot from that first one. So we changed some things up. Now it just doesn't take money. Just because the first person got $1,500, $2,000, it doesn't mean that they're automatically going to be a part of this. You have to be on the same page as us. You have to agree to the terms, the stipulations, but trust that is going to be in the benefit of all of us. So when you come into this, that ego, you got to leave it at the door. Women, we don't have too many problems with it, but my men, especially the Liberian men there, ego too high. Especially, and we've already seen in this group, because keep in mind, if you guys follow my channel, we have the Brewerville community group and we have the Brewerville Resort Project. Both projects are going on simultaneously. Right now, we're fixing roads, we're building gutters, we're building water systems, but very soon we'll be breaking ground. And what I've learned is these things come in phases. It's not attractive to think of it like that, because you just want to hear, oh, this project's starting. The next day you see building come up. But these things don't really work like that, because first of all, if you don't get road is the main important thing. If you can get road, you're not going anywhere. You're not doing it. Even this area, y'all seen this video here. This place here. That road, we have to put road here. That's a road we got to put here. This sandy stuff right here is not working. It's not comfortable. If your car, you can get 4x4, you're not making it. It's going to be very tough. When you get stuck in the sand, you're going to have to get out and push. So road, we have to tackle the roads first. And by having a big group, a large group of people, individuals, it helps. Let me see if Emma can get this thing. StreamYard link. Okay, let me send it to Zawadi Em. I come here, y'all. Let me send her the StreamYard link. For some reason, she had the YouTube link. So, yeah, so coming together in these groups and doing these projects like this, I mean, like, look what we talk about, this drain, this culvert drain we build over here. I think this drain, we built this culvert drain on the road, and each member of the community spent something like $160. $160. I don't think y'all really understand it. Especially if you haven't been back to Liberia, you're not grasping the concept of, I'm able to have a culvert drain on the road coming to my house, and it cost me $160. If I was to do that project by myself, that $3,000 that project would cost, $3,000. But it's not just the money. It's not just to spend the $3,000. You would spend the $3,000, then you would see all your friends driving on the road too. All your friends will be driving there.
What are talking about?
Emma, I had to warm them up for you. I got them buttered up. I got them fired up.
That's hilarious. Okay, that's good. That's good. How y'all doing?
So first I made the introductions. I gave a little backstory on how I first came across your channel, how I met you. So let me fix my webcam a little bit. So I gave a little backstory on that. So guys, if you guys are not familiar with Emma, which you should be.
I think I lost you, Stefan.
Oh, Emma, where you at? Uh-oh.
Stefan, I think I lost you for a bit.
Yeah, you did. Can you see me good now?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay. All right, guys. So you guys should be familiar with Emma, especially if you have followed my channel for a while. She is the founder of these projects, especially this new one right here, the Z Community. So it was her idea. I jumped on board on the first one, the Brewville project. I think I was the second person.
Yo. Oh my God. This network is the trip, huh?
Oh Lord.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Woman, which part of the world you at?
I'm in Ghana actually. So.
Oh Lord.
I'm in Ghana. It's supposed to be a nice place, but I guess not.
It might be my side. I hope it's not. But bear with us, guys. If we going in and out, just bear with us.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I pretty much just explained to them how it was that I found your channel and jumped into that first community. Before I even started, I was the second person to buy land, and here we are about 2 years or so later, and you are on your third community. And as soon as I heard about the location of this community, I knew I wanted to be a part of it. Now, if you guys are not familiar with this specific location, Charlesville is very close to the airport. I was there in April. I took these drone footage. I got some footage from on the ground. So it's about 15 minutes drive from the airport But I think once they finish that road cutting right into the community, it'll knock off a good 5 minutes. So it's very close to the airport. So if you guys are not familiar with Emma, make sure I'll have her link, and she keeps going in and out. I'll link her channel, so definitely make sure you guys check her out. I'm going to be asking her some questions regarding this community right here. So Emma,
Yeah.
while we got you on, when the signal good, so let's start it off. Why the signal good? So the first question I got for you, because we're gonna talk numbers, we're gonna talk specifically about what we're looking for as far as individuals to be a part of this community.
Mm-hmm.
But first, I want to ask you, what was that defining moment that made you think that this is the direction Liberia needs to be going in as far as community goes?
I mean, there are a lot of factors, right? But driving to my own house and my car being stuck so many times in the mud, right? And it's because of the lack of roads, good connections to and fro from my place, and just movement, a lot of limitation in movement across Liberia, period, actually led me to say, look, the government can fix my road to my house. And the other aspect is I can get my neighbors to come together to fix the road. So what can I do within my own power to get this road?
Oh, the sound went off. Emma, your voice went out. Can you hear me? Oh Lord, what is going on with this StreamYard?
This network, man, is tripping. But can you hear me?
I'm starting to wonder if my side. Yeah, no, I can hear you now.
Okay, so the idea that I couldn't get to my place and very limited movement across like what I was trying to do in Liberia. I felt like putting something together where collectively we could build something with structure, because oftentimes when you have a nice home in Liberia, next door you're gonna have like a zing house, and I don't like that aesthetically. Okay. So I was like, okay, how best can I live in a place where there is a nice road, right? And it's gated, the same life I live in the US, and or when I go to other countries, like how can I do that collectively? So this is where the idea just came from, that there are like-minded Liberians who wants the same thing. So let me see how best we could target this without just having investors come build the house. We buy houses from them. We can do this ourselves. So that's really how the concept started. But luckily for me, you jump on board, and ever since we've started working, I'm really grateful for you and those that have followed.
Yeah, I was just warning them. I was just warning these people before you jumped on of this $500 land. But they would tell them, the other land, yeah, my mom said she get land for me for $500. $500. Yeah. If somebody tell me $500 land now, I'm not even interested. Not because of the land, because of the mentality of your neighbors that will go and buy that $500 land. They don't have plans buying $500 land.
There's even $230 land. Okay, but then you buy these. I lost him, you guys. Okay, you're there. Okay, so there are even there's land there that's even more cheaper, Stefan. But the problem is you are still going to struggle to get there. There will be no road there. There's no water connection because the water is just centrally in Monrovia, and so you have to have your own well. You have to fix your own road. You have to get your own electricity. All these things are individual based. So if you have a group of people to minimize your cost, why not? You know what I mean? So you can buy your cheap land, that's fine, but you're still going to struggle. And I mean, who wants to struggle? You leave the US, you live a good life, or wherever you are outside of Liberia, and you come back and you struggle. I don't understand. I don't. So again, I always tell people when I get messages like, oh, why are you selling at this price? And I said, I have a full team. I need to pay them, okay? And I'm giving you a form of security. Not many people you buy properties from in Liberia would tell you if anything happens, you will get your money back. Like I would like to know where you're going to find that person. And so a lot of assurance is placed within this. I have team on ground that does the work. And so obviously those people have to be paid, constantly work to secure your property. And so these are some of the things that you get when you purchase. But then again, like I said, the benefits outweigh that extra $300 or $500.
Right, exactly. And not to mention another important aspect of people in the diaspora buying land back home is you buy the land, you put cornerstone, and you just leave the land there, right? You don't know what's going on. You can send your cousin, your brother transportation money to go check on the land, but who even knows what kind of check they're doing, or who knows what's going on with that land? And then you leave the land there 2-3 years. You don't even know how many times that land been sold. In this
Right.
community area, like you said, like for our community over there, we have Emmanuel on the ground. We have people now. We have security, but it does add that extra layer of security, especially if you're in the diaspora. You're not there to look after your land. There's a bunch of land cases in the courthouses of people double selling, triple selling land, and those people, the other people that buy the land, like we talked about before, instead of going to fight with the person that sold you the land, they'll just fight with each other.
Right.
So for that extra couple $100, you're talking about extra $200-$300, you might potentially be in a land dispute with somebody who you don't even know. And while y'all fighting, that seller could even be selling the land again. Because you over here in America, the other one in Australia, the other man in UK, then all of y'all fighting each other.
And by the time you hire a lawyer and go to court, I mean, you've already spent more than you paid for it, more than your $500 or your $1,000. You've already spent so much. I have a good example. We have a member in the Z community. She actually was skeptical to come in, and she bought a lot from the Z community. And then a couple of weeks later, she called me and she said, "Oh my God, Emma, that one land that I bought in Charlesville, there's a dispute. I'm so glad I bought this one lot." And I kind of help her just navigate like how to get her kids going and all that stuff. But man, this lady was really stressed out, and she was like, I'm tired, I'm done. And I was like, well, you're gonna you're giving yourself headache to get a lawyer to go back and forth on the phone, because each time you send a relative to go to check on that land, you have to pay transportation. They already know how it is. So at the end of the day, she was like, yeah, I can't do this, I just can't. So just avoid headache, you guys. Just avoid headache.
Yeah, because all of our land are together in
Nicely though, I don't know.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I was saying to finish off the security point we're talking about, we all have our land over there in a big clump next to each other. The only thing separating us is access roads. So nobody's fool to come over there and see 15, 20, 30 acres and then come take one person cornerstone and put your own there. No, they're not going to do that. They're going to target the land where you by yourself, right there in that area where they know that they can come over there and squat on that land. And especially if they know you in America or a foreign country, they love to target these kind of buyers or landowners. So that's another thing that interested me about the whole point of a community, of us being together.
But in addition to that, now that we have the checkpoint, right? Before, as a buyer, before you even go into that space to look for a land, you have to pass through that checkpoint, which is you have to call Emmanuel's number, and then you have to pay the toll fee, which is $10. And before you do all that and go to the land, you see all the cornerstones. Like, how are you going to try to purchase that land twice? It's actually it's not going to work, because you have a barrier that's stopping you from getting to that land anyway, which is the checkpoint. So when you get to that checkpoint, you don't pay, you don't have any entry. So this is the same we're doing for all communities. Get a community with security, 24/7 security, and that's what a lot of people need.
Right. And what I'm sharing with you guys here, guys, I'm just rolling out just different kind of videos while we're on the stream. This video right here is of our site in Brewerville, our community site, so you can see this road we built right here. I wish I had a drone footage of the very beginning when we first came to this area. It definitely didn't look like this. We cleared this area out and we put this road in here because the first time I went to Brewerville, we had to park all the way at the beginning of this road and walk all the way down to the beach. And that was about a good 15-minute walk and 15-minute walk back. So the difference between this time when I went this year is we drove the car all the way to the beach. And it was just an amazing feeling. Not only that I was a part of this project, I contributed as far as development to Liberia. I gave Liberians work, but being able to accomplish something so small as building a road, it is a certain feeling of satisfaction. And I want every Liberian out there to have that feeling. Not everybody can say that they contributed to building a road. So if you're not in a community setting, if you're just by yourself buying your own individual land, there's multiple reasons why you're not going to build a road. One, cost. Who's going to take all that money by themselves and build a road? Two, you'll be seeing your neighbors then drive down the same road, knowing that you built it. They'll be laughing at you, smiling, waving while you're driving down the road, knowing that your hard-earned money built that road. So for that reason, you would never, ever, ever build a road by yourself. So what happens then? Everybody just settles for not having any roads. That's the sad part. So this, what I'm showing you guys here, this is an example of what we can accomplish when we come together. So that's why this idea of having a community is such a great concept, because having, like on this road right here, it was about 30 individuals that contributed to this road. And it just softened the blow of even being able to do something like this would be impossible by yourself. Because this road right here is not a small work. You can see this drone is very high up. Look how big and long this road is. Can you imagine how much it will cost you to build this road by yourself? It would not happen. But now we just changed this entire area by building this road. So every community that we're engaging in, every area that we're starting a community, road is a very essential part. So that's about the first thing that we tackle. But what are some other things on the roadmap, Emma, that people can expect if they do join this community besides the road? What are other things that we'll be engaged in as a community?
So the next aspect is the water system. I see that across Liberia, everybody like to have a well because the water again is centrally located, Monrovia only. And so if you don't have water in places like the Brewerville site or Mangibi, you have to have a system that supplies water to you without having the well across your whole community site. So where we have these communities, we have this water tower project where it's going to run along the two rows. It's going to run along the road, and people can connect the pipes to the houses and for the water to go there instead of everybody having a well. That's another great advantage. So together, collectively, we build this tower and have a reservoir that house the water.
You can see my screen too, Emma?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay. Just make sure.
So this is something we did in the Brewerville area. You guys are going to see eventually, you guys are going to see the reservoir water tanks there. That is just a specific place. It's not on my house. It's not on Stefan's land. It's on a specific land for the community. And people would then connect the pipes to their houses to allow water to go in. And we're good because, again, as part of the community, no wells are allowed. Aesthetically, it doesn't look good, and that's not the kind of development we want to continue to have.
Yeah. So what are you trying to say? Before my neighbor come and block my view with one ugly water tower, come block my beautiful view, we'll just purchase a land like in this Brewerville. We bought 2 lots of land, and this 2 lots, which actually we could do a lot more with this 2 lots. But what we did so far was we built this water tower right here. So what Emma basically said is this water tower right here is going to supply our whole community with water. So instead of each individual going and building your own water tower in your own compound, taking up space in your compound, potentially blocking your view, blocking your neighbor's view, we're going to have a certain area dedicated to the water system. So what you guys are seeing here, this water tower is going to have multiple tanks on this. We're going to have pumps, and there's going to be lines that stretch out to the road and running down the road. Each side of the road, there's going to be pipes running. So when you build your own house, all you have to do is connect your house to the water system instead of you building your own water tower in your compound and everybody doing the same thing. So this is another brilliant idea. And you can see right here, we're already working on it. This thing looks great. And I challenge anybody to show me where they've seen a water tower like this in Liberia.
Yeah, I would like to see myself.
Yeah. So we talked about the road. We talked about the water. We briefly touched on security. So what is the next thing?
So the next thing is, once houses are constructed, then we're going to start fencing. This is where you're going to have the security fence. At this point, it's not necessary to have a fence on just an and so the next aspect will be fencing. In addition to fencing, we are going to be doing solar panels instead of just generator. Okay, I mean, who wants to hear that kind of noise all the time? So we're going to be using solar panels across certain communities, especially this community, the Z community, because as we've talked about, the wind, we're looking at wind turbines, and that's something that we're studying in the Zawadi community because it's by the ocean. But in the meantime, we are looking at solar panels to supply the whole community. So that's an added advantage for those who are like skeptical about LEC, or those who are skeptical about the price of fuel for generators. So that's something that we can all look forward to.
Yeah, and also talk about LEC. When I was at the Charlesville site, when I was leaving, those guys were actually working on the pole. They were working on the LEC. So the light is there, or it's coming very soon. So you see, guys, why I stopped this other video here, touching on another point too, which I don't know where this video is going, but I'm guessing it's going towards this drain. If you guys could take a look at this drain right here we built, this comes with the road, because as you guys know, rain season right now in Liberia is very heavy rain. Look at this culvert system we was able to build for the water to flow through right here. You don't see this in Liberia. You don't see this in communities. You're not going to see this in your $500 land area. It's not going to happen. But it's a necessity. Where you expect all the water to go? It's rain season. Right. So we built this culvert right here, and look at this. Look how professional this thing looks. Right? I should pause it right there so you guys can take a look. You see this culvert system we built? When the water come over here, we don't have to worry about it. It goes in and out, and also our road goes right over it. And this thing is solid cement. It's not some kind of cheap thing that's going to give out in 5 years, 10 years. No, this is a solid culvert system. And even just this was riding over it in the car, and I told the driver, yo, stop right away. Let me take a look at this. Let me get closer. Because this thing right here, just this little structure is amazing. We see these things all the time in America, and we never give it a second look because we're so used to the government doing all these things. But when you're a part of a project that built a culvert system so your road won't get destroyed, I mean, that just hits on another level. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. The road, we're going to have to build some drains, but it's absolutely worth it because you don't have to see the water sitting everywhere. Now, y'all know when y'all go to Liberia, everywhere you turn around, rain season, there's huge puddles. There's many lakes just forming. There's nowhere for the water to go. So us being able to just come together and build this culvert right here is, I mean, it's a great satisfaction just to drive on it. That's why I stopped the car. I wanted to look at it. Look at Emmanuel smiling. Emmanuel like, yeah, look what I did. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. Just little simple things like this, that if you're in that community, you buy a house, you would go to your neighbor's house. You would knock on their door. They won't even, next time you knock that door, they will just tell the little yard keeper, gatekeeper, yo, just tell that man I ain't here. You'll be asking all day, oh, what did man I own a compound? Oh, he not here. Oh, the man not here. The man traveled. Because they don't want to give you any money. They rather drive over that puddle than be involved in a project with you. These are real stories. I'm not making this up. Y'all Liberian people,
No,
y'all know
but
this.
it's true. It's true. You know, where I have my home on Robert Street Highway, my car got stuck again recently, and I've been walking like 30 minutes from my house to the road, and it's parked. My car is parked on the roadside. Of course, there's somebody that I have to pay, so my car stopped there, and I will have to walk home. I decided to go like across the neighborhood, like to talk to people. Some people are like, "Well, I don't have a car, so I don't need to fix the road." And I'm like, well, you just deliver materials and you guys got stuck in the mud, and you ask for cable wires. Don't you think it's good to fix their road? And I mean, so you have to like keep pressuring people for stuff that they actually need. You know what I mean? Um, it's really bad.
Yeah. So another aspect of coming together before we even start anything collectively. And I was just even explaining briefly how now I think our mindsets are changed a little bit. I noticed that now we're vetting people before they become a part of the community. It's not just the first person to have land money just jump in. No, you have to have land money and also have the mindset that you're going to be contributing towards stuff. Like, for example, when we built this road, at the time we built the road, we didn't understand where the water would be sitting yet because the road wasn't complete. Water was sitting everywhere because it was just sand. But once we completed the road, shortly after, we then saw where the water settles. And we quickly came together as a group and said, look, we need to put one right here. This is the estimate right here. This is what it will cost each individual. Let's start putting small money aside and come together. And we're able to accomplish this and build this drain just pretty much not even having it planned in the road. But it was the mindset of the individuals that were in the community that led us to be able to build this culvert that wasn't even planned in the road project. So now we're vetting people. We're trying to make sure that your mindset is not first the blame game, because it could have been, oh, we build a road. You don't tell us we have to build drain on the road. All is one, like, no, if we come into you and saying, look, we now realize that the water sits over here after the road, it's not something that's, that's your fault because you won't tell us so that you would pay for it. No, this is what we're trying to escape from, to bring like-minded individuals together. We're not trying to point the finger and say, oh, what happened? I didn't know that the water would sit down there if we build a road. How? How can you know that, right? For me, I'm not asking these questions. I'm seeing a number. I'm seeing, like, I just explained to everybody because I'm a big numbers person. I hate when people try to hide numbers and like, oh, don't tell you. No, I just told everybody, like, it costs each individual about $160 to build this culvert system. That $160, I'm not going to miss that money at all. Actually, that might have been the best $160 I ever spent in my life. We here in America, that's dinner money. So
that's the culvert, not the road.
Yeah. No, just the culvert, not the road. Right. I'm saying, to even if I would have had the road to let the water sit in the side of the road, no, I'll spend $160 all day just so I don't have to drive on that road and see a huge puddle just sitting there for $160. So that's the power of coming together collectively to knock these projects out. That if one individual had to do it, now you talk about $3,000. Nobody gonna willingly spend $3,000 on something that everybody else gonna enjoy. And if you try to approach these people to build something that benefits them, like you just gave a perfect example. Somebody actually told you they're not interested in fixing the road because they don't have a car. Right. They're not thinking of, you get visitor coming. Your visitor coming. They're coming with car. You get somebody coming from America. You get somebody coming from England. Those person coming with car. But because you yourself don't have a car, you're not even gonna do it. But guess what? I bet when they build that road, you get your car 2 years later, that is same road you'll be driving on.
Exactly.
That's the problem with our people. So that's why we're trying to come together to solve some of these issues. But it always comes back to the mentality aspect of it. And we have the benefit, for us to live in the diaspora, we do have a benefit of being able to think outside the box. Like when you guys go back to Liberia and you talk with Liberians that never left the country, you can clearly tell there's a difference. So it's up to us when we come in America and we go to school or whatever, we get our education, our eyes get open. Now we call it woke. We become woke. Well, you gotta bring your woke ass back home and start doing something.
Okay.
And all y'all that got questions, I'm not ignoring your questions. We're gonna come back to it. We're gonna go down the line. Let's just first knock out some of these projects we're gonna be engaging in. So Emma, we already talked about the road. We talk about obviously there's gonna be some culverts here and there on the road because water, it rains, water got to go somewhere. So the culvert is part of the road. We talked about fencing for the security. We talked about security. I actually have pictures of you and the security guys. I don't know why I didn't have that over here, but you were with the security. So we do have security over there. We have a checkpoint. And we talked about the water project, which we showed you guys the tower. So what's something else that we're missing that our viewers want to know?
I mean, in addition to the security, once the community is put together accordingly within the time frame, we will have 24/7 security, and this is physical and also cameras. So those who just like to go to people's houses without calling them, you go to that security, your name is not on that list. They call the house, the person don't answer, we're not gonna let you in. This is the system that needs to be set up, because I mean, if you really take a look at Liberia, we have a system issue. In addition to accountability issue, we do have a system issue. There is no system. There's no form of system. There are rules, there are laws, but they're not adhered to. So in this community, you're gonna make sure that your name is on a piece of paper, that you're a visitor. You're gonna call the person to say, "Hey, are you expecting Stefan?" If I said no, Stefan not coming to my house, you better believe Stefan not coming in that gate. So we have that, and of course, I talk about the solar panels, having electricity that is collective will be collectively done by every one of us. In addition to that, waste management is part of the homeowner association, that we have to collect our trash. Someone have to take it from in the compound to take it somewhere else, and of course, that is a fee that we all pay as community members to ensure that is there. The other aspect is no rainbow houses, you guys. Again, I'm speaking to the structure aspect of it. If the houses need to all like match, right? We don't all need to have like white houses, but again, people in that community can have like red paint, purple paint, and green paint. No, you will have one solid color, and it will be across every home within that community to ensure that we have appropriate structure and zoning taking place in that space.
Okay. Well, I'm not getting to the questions yet, but somebody made an interesting comment over here. Aiden Hills. He asked, first he's asking the buy-in, which we'll get to that later. He's also asking, is it all residential, or could he use his plot for an apartment complex?
So we have the Airbnb option, and that is within our HOA agreement, which is if you have a place for business within this community, you need to ensure your guests abide by the HOA regulations, because you will be fined. I mean, that's pretty much what you will have a regulation. If you want to buy within this community, everything will be provided to you. If you want to do that, you just have to ensure that you're following what the regulation says. If you want to have an apartment complex, and it will be like foot traffic where it's going to disturb others, because having regulation for apartments is really, really different than like residential homes, like homes placed. So I would definitely say if it's meant for a business where you're going to have a lot of traffic, then no. This is where it brings me to the other point. Next to this property, there is a business portion. So everything we do collectively in these communities, we lay out land for business purposes. You can have a nice community and don't have shopping centers, you don't have grocery stores. You need to have the idea that you need all these things there. So we've allocated some 10 acres of land there as well for business. So for anyone looking to do like an Airbnb or like an apartment complex for business, that's where you will be placed.
Got it. And as far as the heights of the structures in the community, is it still capped off at 2 stories?
Yes, 2-story. We don't need anyone building 3, 4, 5 stories. There again, like I said, we need to follow zoning and structure, okay, within these communities.
All right. So there you have it. But like I said, we'll come to the questions um, a little bit later. So now that we talked about the main projects, the main regulations, the individuals that we'll be looking for, what is the criteria?
Okay, so first of all, you need to have a like-minded mentality, and of course, how do I assess that? Well, we're gonna have conversations, okay, and I will actually determine if you're a good fit or not. And maybe I might miss, maybe I won't miss, whatever. But the thing is, you have to have a development mindset. You have to be willing to build this home within 2.5 years of obtaining your property. Okay, that's one of the criteria. You also have to be on board that if at any point you're not able to abide by those regulations, you would not be in the community and another buyer would come and take over your space. You should be okay with all of these rules that are in place, because I know some people just don't like systems. And so if I read these guidelines to you and you say, you know what, oh, I don't want to pay waste management, this is not your community. Oh, I don't want to contribute the road, this is not a community. So I will read all these guidelines to you, and if you say yes or no, then again I have to kind of sleep on it and be a discernment to see if you're actually a good fit for the community or not.
All right, perfect. And I think this right now is the perfect time to go over some pricing. So, what is it going to cost my viewers per lot to be a part of this, to purchase?
If a person is only buying one lot, they're paying $1,600, and that would include cornerstone. But they'll have to pay the survey fee, which is $100. If they're buying more than one lot, the survey fee is included, and the cornerstone. The probate, whether you're buying one lot, two lot, three lots, you will have to pay your probate fee. It's $150 for Magibi, and the surveyor $25 transportation, so it's $175. In addition to this, though, that you have to pay 3.5% taxes, not to me. You have to go to the appropriate area, the business authority, Liberia Business Authority, to pay a 3.5 on your property tax. I don't need to tell you this, but I tell you this because you protect your property this way if you pay your taxes. So that 3.5, calculate if your land is 1,600, 3.5% times 1,600 is how much your tax would be. If you buy over an acre, is 4.5% taxes that you have to pay. So if, let's say, your land 4 acres is 6,600, example, times that by 4.5%, that would be equivalent to your taxes that you have to pay, and that would be a one time for the year. The following year you pay your taxes like that. Again, that's it.
Yeah, and you mentioned something in I think when we're discussing in our other group, that by paying your taxes is a great way to actually prove ownership of the land.
Yeah.
Not that you would have any land disputes, but it's a great way to show that, look, who gonna pay taxes on land they believe they own. Um,
Right.
I just did the math. 3.5% of 1,600 is $56. So it's pretty much $56 a lot. That hey,
Right.
that beats the $5,200 you people trying to pull out of me in America.
Right.
So
And the advantage of paying taxes, as you reference, is that if, let's say, 460 come, right, and somebody says this is my property, and then you go to the court and you show your tax papers and everything, the judge will 100% tell you that's your space. Because the thing is, the country is looking for people who pay taxes. That's what Indian businesses are doing well. I'm gonna be honest with you, other than other factors involved, this is the reason why these people are paying into the system, so they do have high priority. If you go and somebody say this is my land, well, show me a tax document, and that'll be that, and you walk by your business. So since I've owned land in Liberia since 2006, I have not had one dispute, and I pay my taxes all the time. I'm not foolish to pay my taxes, but I mean, I'm protecting my space.
right. Yeah, and um we should not mind paying taxes in Liberia, especially with these small amounts, because we always complain that there's no waste management, there's no roads being built, there's this and that, but not realizing that because we pay taxes in America, that's why they're able to do these things. That's why they're able to have public schooling, fix roads, and do all these other things, because we're paying taxes. It's not optional. So when we come back home, we shouldn't be trying to duck and dodge $50, $100, $200. You know, let's all pay it, and then we can approach the mayor of this town or that town and say, hey, we paid these taxes. What are you guys actually doing with the money? But if you guys aren't paying your taxes, then, you know, where they're supposed to get these funds from, you know? I'm not saying that when you pay your tax, the government come and fix your road. I'm just saying, just throwing that out there. So you guys already got the numbers. You guys got the benefits of being together in a community. Now, let's talk about the geographical benefit of this area. The thing that intrigued me about this area is the close proximity to the airport. So we know that when we come to Liberia, obviously we'll be landing in the airport. And this place is about 15 minutes away from the airport, which when you're driving to Monrovia, you could be looking at 30 minutes, an hour, just depending on what hour and a half, 2 hours, depend on when you're actually commuting. So is this what stuck out to you about this area, the close distance to the airport?
Partially, right? So when you enter a country, the airport, the seaport are the first point of entry. And so you need to have a brighter outlook. But when you go to Liberia, you see surrounding is a lot of trees, a lot of cornerstones. That really it was my first motivation behind this community there. You see all of these things that shouldn't be around an airport. So I thought it best to develop within this area because one, when people go there at night, they need a safer place to stay, cheaper place to stay. Okay, because the hotel by the airport, it could run you into $200 per night. Who wants to pay that? Who wants to pay that all the time? And having this nice outlook, having a cheaper place to stay, having a safer place to stay closer to the airport really drew me in. The location is great. It's closer to Firestone. It's closer to Habel. One thing people has everything you need. Habel supermarket has everything you need to buy, and it's actually really affordable. It is fresh. It's not even more than 5 minutes over. So there's a lot of attraction around the area itself that we need to look into as currently it is very much underdeveloped. And so we have to develop the area so that whenever we land, we can say, oh, that's a nice community over there. Huh. Instead of just seeing cornerstones and trees.
Yeah, so you said it's close to Harbel. How close?
Habel, yeah. It's very close to Habel, yeah. Habel.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the when I go back over there, those nice grocery stores and stuff, they're all in Harbel. Where the people they'll take your groceries to the car for you, put it in the trunk. That's Harbel. So it's safe to say by when we finally get this community developed, that's the supermarket that we'll be shopping at. Yeah, Harbel is that close.
Yep.
Man, so you guys heard it right here. You guys seen all the advantages. You see what it is we're trying to do. There's a random question here that says, will the property be insured? I'm not sure.
So they have, as far as I know, I pay car insurance in Liberia. I only know about car insurance. I don't know about insuring your property. But again, there's somebody in our group, Marjorie, she told me about international insurance. So there's a company that insures businesses or properties in Africa. So again, she's in this group. I could ask her for more info about that. But as far as insurance company in Liberia to insure your property, I'm really unsure. But that's something I can look into. We already have a member in this group who knows about that.
Okay, great. Catherine, I hope you're still with us. I hope you heard that. So definitely get my contact information. Emma, I'll have to leave yours in the description. Okay. Over there, I'll also link your channel. Let's see right from the top over here. We got a lot of viewers. So when y'all tell me y'all watching from Miami, you have to tell me which Miami, like Miami, Liberia, or Miami, Florida. So you see here, look at Emmanuel, look at him open their checkpoint, right? So this is our temporary checkpoint. It's not gonna look like this forever. This is something we made to keep people out. So you see here, we're still doing a little manual, but eventually we will have something more top of the line with actual. I mean, we got the security now. This is just an older video. So you see, we do have a checkpoint before anybody comes on this road. They have to cross this checkpoint. So we're looking to do something similar at all the communities. I got somebody asking here as far as the. Have you ever heard the water solution XYLEM? Xylem
No.
Water Solutions?
No.
NBKS. You got to be more clear, man. We're not sure what that is right here, but appreciate the support. Somebody's asking about the buying lot. We already went over that. It's $600 per lot, but that does not include your survey and your cornerstones. We got Love on here with us. What's up, Love? Purchase and there's time limit on somebody can buy it. So it said how much space is still available. Is there a time limit? So the time limit is until all the space gets sold.
So as of yesterday, we are going to be 22 members already. Currently, we are 18. I've already have 4 people that I've talked to. I'm fixing up some documents for them. So we're going to be 22. And honestly, looking at 32 to 35 members.
So we got 22 and we're looking for 35.
Yes.
Well, obviously, you could get a member to come in and buy 2 acres.
I would say 13, but like, because, you know, with all the inquiries that came in, it's not everyone that's going to be accepted. So there's still that 13 open space.
And then obviously you could have a buyer come in that wants a larger plot, which could obviously go faster because of that.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So you guys understood that. It's about 13 spots left, but if somebody with deeper pockets come in, then that could change the numbers around. Somebody asked, do people in Liberia speak English? If you consider, my man, what place you go at? You consider that English? Then yes.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
But nah, they could. If you're not a Liberian, you're on this channel. I appreciate you. I appreciate the support. That is one of my main goals when I go back to Liberia. I do want to connect African Americans to Liberia because the connection is there. It's just that we don't have a lot of infrastructure in place to bring these people back. And what you guys have to understand, when you bring in people from America back to Africa, you can't make it such a big shock. They're already shocked by the culture. So you want to make sure that there's running water, there's hot water. If you bring these people a bucket of water to flush the toilet, trust me, they most likely not going to come back to Liberia unless they're on some kind of humanitarian mission. Those usually the people that can thug it out, the humanitarians. Those guys got thick skin. They will sleep outside with you. They'll sleep in the woods. As long as you give them hand sanitizer, they're good. But you bring the average person, like one of your friends, like the first time, I'll tell you when I went back to Africa in 2021, the first time, my friend said, oh, it's all right, I got extra room, come with me. I'm like, all right, cool. I could just save on room. Man, I'm talking about no running water. I'm talking about got to use the bucket. I'm talking about the shower and the toilet are right there next to each other. Like, they're not ready for it. They're not ready for it. So, David, if you're not a Liberian person, you've never been to Liberia, I appreciate you being here. Make sure before you go to Liberia, you get in contact with me or Emma. We'll make sure you're straight, but do not listen to your family, your friends that tell you, come live with us. Don't do it. I'm telling you, David, don't do it. You got, hey, Emma, somebody here from your neck of the woods, somebody here from Kalagi, Rwanda. Oh my God, Rwanda is so great. I've never been there. I know you go to Rwanda, but I watch a lot of YouTube on Rwanda.
I'm actually heading there tomorrow.
So when people say, so you going there tomorrow? So when people say, oh, but Liberia been through war, that's the first thing I think about is Rwanda. Rwanda went through a genocide. Those people were able to completely rewrite their story. And now Rwanda is such an amazing place that people look up to, people want to travel to. The streets are clean. So what's our excuse, Liberians? So Samuel over there from Rwanda, I know you're living good in Rwanda, man. We appreciate you joining. Love says 1,600. You said 600. Yeah, if I say 600, this is not.
Just texted me talking about you keep her 2 lots. I'm like, all right.
It's $1,600 per lot. not including survey, cornerstone. I think that
Probate.
it's and probate. Catherine said, I think that it's something you guys need to look into. How much does it cost per lot? And 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and porch. Emma can help you out more on floor planning and quotes as far as development goes. When you say, I think that's something you guys need to look into. I think your Catherine was the one who asked about insurance.
Yeah.
So Emma says she has somebody who mentioned something about insurance. So
yeah, she's in the group currently, the Z community, Marjorie. She's in there, so I'll talk to her.
Okay, yeah, great. So Catherine, get our contact infos. We'll definitely follow up on you about that. And David just responded. He says he's not Liberian, but the country seems beautiful. And yeah, David, the country is absolutely beautiful. It's just that we have a lot of internal problems that we need to resolve. But as far as geographical positioning, yeah, it's a beautiful country, man. Just even look at these when I share these drone shots with you guys of our land in Brewerville. Just look at this. Look at this ocean right here. Just look at this, man. In any other country you go to, this will be $1 million view. If you try to get land like this in America on the ocean, you're gonna be spending top dollar. But
okay.
So beauty is not our problem. The country is beautiful, the land is beautiful, the ocean is beautiful, the people are beautiful. It's just, when you see a lot of trash on the street and people just trashing their environment, that's not beautiful. So we do have some issues to resolve, but that's why we're on here. We're spreading the positivity about the country. We're trying to develop. We know that there's a lot of downsides, a lot of negativity, a lot of trust in the political system, and we're trying to basically create our own lane. We're trying to show people that we don't need government to come in and fix our roads and create these kind of infrastructures. We as Liberians, as Africans, need to be the ones initiating these things. Then once we've done that for so long with so many people behind us, at that point we can start putting pressure on the government. When you're in America and UK and just saying the government's not doing this and that, trust me, it's not putting any pressure on those guys at all. And the people in Liberia, the residents of the country, actually look up to politicians. So they're not even listening to anything you're saying. But when we come on the ground and we build roads, we build schools, hospitals, we're pretty much leading by example. It's hard to ignore these things. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
Good email to reach you. Emma, do you mind if I share your email here?
Yeah, that's okay.
You want to use the
You can use JAR one. It's good.
You want to use the JARNYNEH
at gmail.com.
At Gmail. So this, I'm attaching right here, guys. When I'm done with the video, I will go on YouTube and edit the description. I probably need to put my contact in there as well. Somebody else asked me about ocean front. So this community is not ocean front, it's not lakefront, but you guys can see there is a lake close by. So have you been getting that, Emma? People ask you for ocean front in this community?
Yes, for this Z community, they ask about lake, but there is a nice water close by, in close proximity. People ride the boats on there. I actually used that to check out another property recently when I was there. I think you guys saw my YouTube when I share those pictures. But yeah.
You guys own a boat there too?
I plan to have my boat there. Yes.
So is it possible that you could take your boat from this community and haul your boat down to the lake and ride it over there? Is there anything stopping you?
No, you need to attach it.
Yeah, when you attach the boat, you can drive it down to this lake and still ride the boat, right?
Yeah, it's about 5 minutes drive.
You can see it right here in the video. You can see it in the distance.
Yeah, very close.
Yeah, so even if you don't have an ocean front, you can still get your boat over there, keep it in your compound, have your truck, and just pull your boat to the lake and just ride it whenever you want to. So I'm sure Emma does have some other properties that she could sell you oceanfront. It's just not going to come with all these amenities that we've been discussing, because these things are community based. We have to be together as a whole, a group, to be able to do these things. If you
I
just
mean,
buy your own,
if anyone is actually interested in an ocean front and
yeah,
ocean side, in
yeah,
our second community, we have one lot available, but one member in there wants to buy it. So then we also have two lots available as well. But again, the group don't want other people in. I'm just being honest. So I think they might want to keep it, but I'll have a discussion. Whoever is interested, I know you're very, very interested. I can talk to the group that hey,
yeah,
this person needs this space. You already have a space. Why not?
yeah,
So the person have to be really interested,
right.
like-minded before I can go talk to my group.
Yeah, that's the key right there. And being a part of a few of these groups, I can attest to why the group would not want anybody new. Because you guys don't understand. If we're coming together and we already have challenges and obstacles ahead of us, the last thing we want is some unmotivated crybabies. I'm gonna just put it out there like that. I'm gonna put it out there like that. If you be a part of the group, the least you can do is pay attention to the WhatsApp, check the group every couple of days, see what's going on. You don't want somebody to present a question or a scenario. Hey, what do you guys think about this? And then you guys aren't even responding. You're so busy with your life that you can't even check your WhatsApp every 2 or 3 days. That's why when you find good members, you want to just keep it close to those people. You don't want to bring somebody new in, because I'm not going to lie to you guys. Everything seems good that we're talking about, but there are bumps along the road. There are people that come along and they play the blame game. They're not checking the messages. They're not being a part of the group. They're not being supportive. And to think that just contributing your money is your only I mean, that's the wrong way of thinking about this. We're all here for support. We know that life is not easy in America, in UK, and Australia. We each have our problems that we're going through. Everyday life, we understand these things, but showing support for the group, showing support for the project, I mean, this just it goes a long way. It shows appreciation to the people who's in charge, the leaders, and you're more likely to be that hasn't answered their WhatsApp message in 3 weeks. Just because they contribute their money, I'm not thinking of that person when I'm looking for the next project. I hope that makes sense, guys. We've been doing this now for years. So if you only thinking that just contributing your money is all you have to do, well, you're making a big mistake. We still need to support each other on a regular basis, in addition to meeting your contributions. So did I hit the nail on the head, Emma, when I described why that other group does not want new people in it?
Yeah, the second community group, they're very tight. They are we have meetings. People are really look out for each other. People are very serious. We're getting this stuff done. People are looking to pitch in for others, until they can catch up. And so having somebody come in there and wasting people's time is not okay. So that's why they're very close, and they said they don't want new members in there. But I see why. But again, like I said, we have two lots available. If anyone's interested, but they have to be very, very interested before I can go back to my group to pitch to them and say, look, it's okay to have this person in here, but it's not by force.
Okay. All right, so Aiden Hill says he wants to pull the trigger, but his policy on buying land is to see the land first. So he's not coming home till January. So Aiden, if you have family over there, that's how I initially purchased my first land. Send your family out there. Let them view the land. Let them send you videos. Let them send you pictures. Definitely you could reach out to Emma in January 2024. By that time, she might be on her next community. I highly doubt that this community will still be looking for members at that time, but you never know. But that's how I first did it. I sent my family over there. I sent them to get videos and pictures and to check everything out. And that's how I was able to purchase. But now, obviously, that I formed a relationship with Emma, I could buy land from her freely without seeing the land. And then when I do go to Liberia, at that point, I go and check on the land. But yeah, I understand that, man. But if you can get family out there to take a look at it for you, she'll send you all the legal documents and everything. You can look through it, sign it, whatever you have to do. But I can, I'll definitely stick my neck on the line and say that Emma definitely is a trusted individual to do business with. And we've been engaged in business for a few years now. And I mean, everything's been, I would say smooth, but it's Liberia, man. Things aren't going to be 100%, but anything that we're dealing with me and her has been smooth. So if you guys got any last questions, let's drop them down.
Hello, did we lose you? The network is good.
Your network good? Yeah, so any last questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and drop it in there. Yeah, sorry, Emma, it might be coming from my side, but I'm just taking any last questions regarding this, and I look forward to making some more videos once we do get started on this project. When do you anticipate that we'll be starting on the road in this area?
Once we have everyone that's required to fill this community, then we will start planning the road. I need us to really have a conversation and plan it for 2 months, to collect funds before we can do the road. The difference with this road and the other roads is that luckily for this road, I mean, you're there, it's not as long compared to, the other places. So it's not going to be as costly.
Okay, so it's not as long as this road right here.
Yeah, well, you were there, right? Remember?
Yeah.
No, this road is like two roads. This is longer, and this is no, it's not as long.
Yeah. This road is massive. So the first thing, guys, is gonna be the road, and like you said, the area. I mean, it's just that sand that makes it really hard to ride on. It's not as bad as the Brewville area, but it's definitely not something you want to leave there and be riding over on a regular basis.
Right.
With enough
definitely. I mean, building communities, the first thing you have to do is to construct a road. So regardless of if cars can drive in okay, that will still be the prerequisite. And we need to establish a road already. I mean, it's part of development. And so when you're looking to see difference and you're also looking to see modern and something that is not in the country, you obviously have to just take the right steps. And of course, road being the first part can be excluded.
Right. All right, guys. Any last words, Emma, before we jump off this?
Well, thanks to all your viewers and those that have expressed interest. I know oftentimes when people go back to Liberia, they tend to either one, get frustrated or decide to say, oh, I'm going to turn my back, and then they come back again. And so by the end of the day, we have a bigger purpose to serve, and that is to be patriotic to our country and help in any way we can to help the country move forward. We can't rely on government all the time to do everything for us. If you have the ability, if you have the funding, if you have the willpower to do so, do the best you can and help with the development. If people on this thing are watching to invest in Liberia to again assess your risk to see if that's something you can do, and just go in. Life is about taking risk anyway, so that's it.
Yep, nice, well said. And also to add to that, a lot of things that are worth doing it doesn't come fast. It's a gradual process, and these development projects are no different. It's easy to discourage yourself by saying, oh, I don't have 10,000, I don't have 5,000 to do this and do that. But what you do is you take it one step at a time. Time goes by very fast. Once you notice, you buy the land. Next thing, you put in small money for the road. Next thing, you put in small money for this. It comes gradually, gradually. But you look back 10 years later, and you see the bigger picture. You see a big difference. But the big difference doesn't come overnight. It doesn't come in weeks or months. It comes in years. So keep that in mind, because it's very easy to get discouraged. It's easy to compare yourself with others. And like they say, comparison is the thief of joy. So instead of comparing, right, just start. Just start. In 5 years, in 10 years, you'll be happy that you did. But if you don't start small, then what will happen in 5 or 10 years, you'll still be having those same feelings that you need all this money before you can get started. And you don't. You take $1,600, you take $1,800, you buy a lot.
What's going on? We're network.
Hey, you can hear me now? Well, I hope it's just her and you guys can still hear me. But basically what I'm trying to say is just get started. Just get started. You know? Emma.
Yes.
I hope I didn't get that big speech for nothing.
I heard you.
Okay. So I was just telling them not to be discouraged, to get started. This thing they're looking at in Brewville right here, this is something that we've been working on for what? Over a year now?
Over a year. And everyone's keep asking, when will you guys have the houses? Well, before Room was built, it took some time, okay? And we need to have the water, we need to drill and then get the water running. Then people can start building the house. We needed to have a road. We needed to have a water tower. All these things takes time, and we will get there gradually. We move.
Yep. And also, something that really motivates me, I always think about it like, you know, we want a country that we can be proud of. A lot of times I see, I feel like people are sometimes ashamed, embarrassed. If people say, oh, you from this country, you from Liberia, you know, they're not saying that being proud. They're not being proud of that. So if you're not adding, if you're not contributing, and you just on the side being ashamed, well, no matter what, you can try to act like you from America. You can try to act like you from Australia, UK, but deep down inside, you're going to know where you're from. And there'll be a certain time that comes when you're old, years and years, in your bed, thinking back to what could have been, what should have been, what would have been. This is the moment to take action. We are in last place. It's not a good feeling, but that's the honest truth. We're in last place. And before I die, I want to see us move the notch up a little bit. So if y'all can help us out, it'd be greatly appreciated. You see that woman yet? That woman, she can live in Ghana. See? She lives in a nice place in Ghana. High rise.
I bet you.
Let's go Rwanda. In Rwanda, that nice place that you can be living. 5G. When you come out to Liberia, 3G.
3G, I'm telling you. You know, but I mean, for me, I think for me, it's like the road issue. Like, I have decent places to, like, my place is nice. It's just the road, and I can't force my neighbors to do the road, and I cannot do that road by myself, and everyone just drive on it. There's no way in hell. So by the time I build my beach house in Brewville, I'm good.
I know, right? I know that's right. Well, I appreciate you joining me. I appreciate you making time for us. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep up the good work. You guys are going to see Emma on this show a lot more for sure, because there's so much work to be done. This channel, this mission that we're on, it's lifelong. It's not something that we can easily solve. It's not something that we're going to accomplish in a few years. This is a forever thing, forever and ever and ever. So if you're with us on the journey, the road's a long one. There's a lot of work to be done. So stick it out with us. Let's use each other for motivation. Let's support each other. Let's share this content. Emma's channel, subscribe, share. Anybody you see speaking negatively about Liberia, share the channel. Let them come on here. We can have a friendly discussion, because a lot of those people that are sharing negativity, they're not doing anything back home at all.
All right. So, well, thank you, Stefan, for your support. thank you for being a part of this community, and I'm really happy to have you join this, and helping to like push everything forward. So you guys follow his channel. He always has good stuff on there. And we move, you guys. We move. Bye.
We move. All right, Emma. All right, viewers. Catch you guys later. Everybody be safe. Till the next video.